So we are going to start working on our users app, and in our splash screen let's remove all other tabs and open splash screen, and we can, instead of gesture detector, we can write scaffold body gesture detector on tap focus scope dot of context dot unfocus. What this will do is it's going to hide the keyboard if we hit outside the keyboard, otherwise it will keep showing the keyboard. Actually, for splash screen we don't need this on tap method, but I'm just using it for safety purpose. So box decoration, I'm going to add box decoration later. So child, I'm going to add center, child, column, sorry, not container, column, main axis alignment dot center. So children, you can hide this one, and we can use asset image. So image dot asset, and our directory name is, you can see, images. So I'm going to write images slash logo dot png, and I'm going to use scale of 2, and now let's see how it looks. So this is our users app. You can see this is how it looks. So we can add a text widget, but before that I'm going to add color on our decoration. So color, I'm using this custom color. You can use pink accent or anything you want, but I think it looks good, so I'm using this one. Then text Foodpanda clone. You can see this is how our text looks like, and as we are using column, so it's in vertical direction. So let's add some styling. So style, text style, font size of 30 should be fine. Color, let's make it white color, so white. And then font weight dot bold. Now it looks good. So I'm going to add a function called start timer, and in this function I will be using timer in such a way that if we go to splash screen, then after a few seconds, after delay, it's going to go to home screen or to login screen depending on the Firebase authentication. So let's add duration seconds 1, and we can make it asynchronous. I think I added an extra. Okay, so let's see what is the issue here. Sorry, I need to add second bracket, not first bracket. So timer const duration seconds 1. Then I'm going to add sync. So if firebase auth dot current user is not equals to null, that means if user exists, then it's going to go to home screen. So I can just write home screen. And else if it is null, then it's going to go to login screen. So I need to add init state, so that when we go to splash screen, this function will be called immediately. So now we are going to create our login screen and home screen. So for that we can add here a directory called main screens, and under this main screen we are going to add a dart file called home underscore screen, and we are going to add another directory called authentication. Here we are going to add login and register. So in login screen we can add import material.dart, stateful widget, login screen. And for home screen we can also add material.dart home screen. And for register we can also import material.dart and we can call this register screen. So now go back to splash screen and write navigator.push context instead of route material page route c context home screen. We can copy this line and paste it here, and instead of home screen we can call login screen. So before creating our home screen we can create login screen. So let's create that. So now let's run the app again, and you can see after 1 second it goes to login screen. Actually you can determine whether it's login screen or not. So I'm going to add scaffold body text login screen, and I can make it in center. So if we go to home screen, then we are going to see something like home screen. So first thing first, we are going to create some variable like text editing controller and globals and a form key. So final global key form state form key equals to global key, and write form state here as well. So that's it. Now I'm going to add text editing controller, email controller, text editing controller. I'm going to copy this line and paste here again, and password controller. So that's it. Now we can create now we can start working on our login screen. So I'm going to let's add a app bar. Title should be text login screen, login page, something like that. Then we can write center title to true. Let's see how it looks. This is how it looks now. We already have an app bar, and let's create let's edit. Okay, before that we can actually write automatically imply leading to false, because we don't need a back button. So as you can see, our back button is hidden. So now we can add actions, and in actions we can add before that let's add a provider. So I'm going to make a new directory called provider, and here I'm going to add a new Dart file called form_state, and here I'm going to add class login form data extends change notifier. Then I'm going to add a string email, then a password, and then a boolean function is button enabled. So I'm going to return email is not empty and password is not empty. Now we can go back to our login screen, and we can add a padding, age inserts dot all, around 10 should be fine. Then child consumer as we are using provider, and we are going to write login form data, and now we can use builder context login form data underscore text button. So on pressed we can write login form data dot is button enabled. If button is enabled, then it's going to be we are going to add another function called form validation, and if it's null, then we are going to use, sorry, after this second bracket we can use null, and here in child you can write text continue, and we can style the text colors dot black. As you can see, we are getting some error, so to fix that, okay, before that, okay, let's fix the error. So go to main.dart, and here we are going to add another wrap this material app with another widget called multi provider, and now we can use provider. So change notifier context login form data, and now we can see our error is gone. So go back to login screen, and here we can change the text color and font size. So fonts, we can add style, text style, font size of about 20, then color, we can actually write this color here, color. So from our splash screen we can copy this color and write it here. So food panda color. In that way we don't need to write this color everywhere, we can just write Foodpanda color. So let's try that Foodpanda color. See, it works, and we can use font weight dot bold. Now let's edit the body. Also we can change this one to login form data dot if button is enabled, then color should be Foodpanda color, or else colors dot gray. So now Let's create the body gesture detector on tab. Focus scope dot of context dot unfocus. Now we can add a child called list view, children, padding, age insets dot all 15, child, column, cross axis alignment dot start. Now we can add children. We can hide this window. So now we can add children, padding, const, age insets dot only left 20. Let's add a child, icon, icons dot message outlined, color, Foodpanda color, and size should be 100. Now we can add a size box of height 15 and write a text. What's your credentials? And style, text style, font size we can give it like 25. Font weight we can make it bold. Now it looks good. Let's add another size box of height 15, and for these fields you can actually use const so that these yellow lines won't show again. So const, and we can add another text. We will check if you have an account. So style, text style, font size should be 15. And now we can add a form. Key at first, we already made a key, global key, so form key, and then we can write child, column, children, and we are going to add some custom text field here. So we need to make that, and then after this form we are going to add, so we're going to add if if user doesn't have an account, we will request them to register. So we can create text I can just copy this text from here, and at first I need to add children here, and here we can write doesn't have an account question mark, and then a size box of width 5. We need to use width, and here we can use another text field, and we can wrap this in a gesture detector, and on tap navigator, sorry, before that we can keep this empty, and we can write here register, and color should be Foodpanda color, and we can make this one gray, so colors dot gray. So now we are going to add some custom text field. So now let's add a custom text field. So for that we are going to go to lib folder and make a new directory called widgets, and then we can add a dart file called custom text field, and we can import material.dart, and let's add a stateless widget custom text field. We can remove this line, and we can add final text editing controller, then final icon data, then final string hint text, then boolean is obscure equals to true, bool enabled to true, then final value changed is string on changed. Now we can initialize this, so custom text field, this dot controller, this dot data, this dot hint text, and then this dot is obscure, this dot enabled, then this dot unchanged. Now we can customize our text field. So let's go to login page and write custom text field data icons dot email, then controller, email controller, hint text should be email is obscure, to false, unchanged value. We can keep it empty for now. So now we can see a box. So let's edit our custom text field. We are going to use a container decoration, box decoration. We're going to use border radius all around 10, radius dot circular 10. Now we can use padding edge insets dot symmetry vertical should be around 10, and then margin edge insets dot all 0. Child text form field enabled. Now we can see our text form field. We can write anything, but we need to change the design. So controller obscure text is obscure, cursor color theme dot of context dot primary color, then unchanged should be unchanged, then decoration, input decoration, hint text style, hint text should be hint text, and hint style should be text style dot colors dot gray. Then enable border outline, border side width about 1, then colors dot gray. Border radius dot circular about 10. We can actually use this one here. We can change the focus border as well. So we can just copy this one and paste and focus border. So we can make the color. Okay, it's already white. So now it's looking good. Then we can go to login and add another custom text field, and we can change this icon to lock, and instead of index email we can write password, and we can make it true, and instead of email controller we can write password controller. And now we can write provider dot off login form data context listen false dot email equals to value. We can copy this and paste it here and change this email to password. So that's it for this video. Our login page is done. Now we can create our function form validation, but before that we're going to make register screen.